Hey guys, Ultimate S&S here. So I just want to discuss a few of the changes we're going to be seeing in this community here pretty soon. So on this channel, I want this channel to be basically its own network is what I would like, where people can come in and find information a little bit about everything when it comes to sustainability, survival, prepping, or just living life and understanding what's happening that's causing the mindset of why we need to prepare. So in order to do that best, I'm adding some new playlists and rearranging the channel a little bit. All of our live streams and videos that are basically talking about a wide variety of what we do out here, but doesn't show an in-depth video on how it's done. Those are going to be put into a Prepper's Corner playlist right now. So that's where you're going to be able to find all that type of information. And I'm going to be cleaning up our chicken care, quail care, bee care, garden care playlists where it's more particularly to just that topic rather than all encompassing, if that makes sense. That way, if you only care about gardening, you can go in and watch gardening videos. And those videos from this point, when I make them in the future, they're actually going to be quite a bit different. So some of them are going to be instructional videos, showing you how to do it. And then some of them are going to be videos where it's just me working in it. And that's going to be more for some of your basic garden care people. They need to realize that you have to be out in a garden when you have a garden. Otherwise, your garden will die. So that's one of those situations. What it's going to be, it's going to have a basic care, and then it's going to have more of an advanced care. And that's what all the playlists, even with chicken care and stuff like that. So as you've seen with the quail, it went from how to raise quail as far as from hatch, then how to sex the quail. There's videos on that, and how to tell what type of quail that you have, and then how to set up breeding programs for the quail. And all that information is in there up to them laying an egg and it starting the process over again. And I've got about 3 or 4 generations worth of quail videos out there, which doesn't take long to get because quail breed like rabbits. I mean, they are always going at it. It takes 18 days to pop out eggs. It takes between 8 to 13 weeks for them chicken or them quail to start laying again. And next thing you know, within a year, you've already got several generations of quail. And I've eaten a lot of quail out here. I've eaten, I don't even know how many quail eggs. It's actually my main dietary source of egg is quail egg. And since I've started eating that, my cholesterol has actually dropped quite a bit. My blood pressure has dropped quite a bit as well. And now from what I was reading online, they say that because it has zero bad cholesterol in that, and it has an increased good cholesterol content in every quail egg. And I eat about 6 a day, between 6 and 8 a day. That's for my breakfast in the morning. I'm actually getting better nutrients for my body, and the only cholesterol I'm intaking is good cholesterol. When you raise your good cholesterol level, it lowers the bad cholesterol plus all the other ailments that bad cholesterol can cause. It starts to reverse those and make you feel better. And I've gotten a lot more energy since I've started just raising my own food. Now I still do buy some stuff at the store, but it is not my primary diet a lot of times. I love buying fresh vegetables and stuff like that, and it was kind of cheap to just get them, but that's not the case anymore. So I'm back to actually gardening and stuff. So I'm going to show how to start your garden. And every garden I'm going to start is going to be from seed. It is not going to be I went to the store and bought some plants. It's going to be from seed. So you're going to see real-time development. You're going to see pictures where like the garden looks one way and the next time you come back looks a little bit different. Well, maybe that's because I thinned out some of the garden plants. As they grow, you're constantly thinning. So some of it you might have to harvest, but some of it you can leave out to let it get bigger. And you can stagger your harvest on some things. And the same thing with tomato plants. So I went out today and thinned the tomato plants. Do not feed tomato plants to your chickens or your quail because they are in the nightshade family, the plant itself, and it will kill them. You can take and you can give tomatoes, take the leafy end off of it and give the whole tomato. You give that to chickens and it's fine. Just don't give them a plant. Like I say, certain things are deadly, certain things are good. So you need to, if that's what you want to learn more about, I'm going to have a lot of that stuff in those videos as well. And if there's issues in the garden, I can show you how to deal with those issues. So I recently put out a video showing how to check for aphids and talk about kind of what the nests for an aphid looks like. Well, there was no aphids on the plants because I keep care of my plants and I make sure my area is pest free. I don't leave anything around that's going to draw those types of pests. Plus, I also have an abundance of ladybugs out here, which pretty much keep the aphid population down anyway, whether it's a garden or not. So that works out really great in that aspect as well. But I can tell you what it looks like without being able to show you. You're not really going to see what it is that you're looking for. So I'm going to try to add a little bit more information with that, maybe with some clip photos of what it would look like. So just to make it a little more, more of an instructional. And then most of our informal videos are going to be going to Prepper's Corner, guys. And that's where we're going to have our live streams. We're going to have our live talks. We're going to talk about what's happening in society, what our views of why it's happening, where it's leading. That's going to be a lot of the information that's in Prepper Corner. It's going to have, if there's product recommendations and stuff like that, Bigfoot Bushcraft stuff. And look for that video, guys. I've got a link on there, and it has a code, and it's going to save you 15% off if you order from them. It may seem kind of pricey, but I am telling you, it is worth its money, because you're not going to be out there flip with a lighter, or out there with a wet match trying to get strike. And let me tell you, as someone who's stocked up on Strike Anywhere matches and has taken and made the time to wax coat those matches and stuff, I got a pack out. They ain't striking. It's been set back for 10 years. How old are your matches? It does have a shelf life. And the easiest way I can see is the Foraging rods and having some kind of a quick start source. Now, if I come up with an option that, I can show you how to make those things at your house, that's something I would do. They tell you what they're made of. It's jet fuel and wax with some cotton. Well, I don't have access to jet fuel, nor do I want access to it. But maybe there's some other types of things we could look at. So those types of videos and stuff, they're going to be found in Prepper's Corner as well, because they don't really have to do with our sustainability program here, even though our sustainability is all about the views that will be shared there. So there's going to be a more in-depth, which is Prepper's Corner, and then there's going to be the instructional side, which is going to be all of our care videos. So I hope that explains a little bit about what's coming as far as the changes you're going to see in the channel. And I hope that means that you're going to stick around, and I hope it means that it's going to be attracting more people in, because this is a involved community of people. We all talk in live streams. That's why we do live streams twice a week. We do live streams on Wednesday at 8 p.m. right now. Sometimes we get started early. It depends on when the chickens go in. If it's still daylight and it doesn't get dark until 9, that time will change to 9 o'clock, because the chickens are not going to go into their coop until it's almost completely dark outside. It's when they go in their coop. And I have to be out there for when that happens to make sure it's all locked up and secure, because we have a lot of predators around here. So my live streams, they're going to be, that is an ish, a 9-ish. If it goes to 9, right now it's 8-ish. So pop in early and wait around, because a lot of times we actually get started by like 7:45. But as it's getting dark later, I just went ahead and made it to 8 o'clock. And then on Saturdays, around 9:45, again, that's another, right around 9:45, could be 9:30, could be closer to 10 o'clock. We'll call it 9:45. If you see that there's a channel posted up that there's a live stream going to be coming, then it means that I'm getting ready for the live stream. But I've been working in the yard, and I don't like to do videos all covered in sweat and all that mess if I can, because I try to look, well, I guess I can't say I try to look professional, but I don't want to be in here hot and out of breath trying to talk on the camera, basically, So it takes a little bit to get cooled down from whatever it is I've been doing, because I'm one person working most of these projects you're seeing. It's me. I'm out here. I'm busting my butt in the garden day in and day out. I'm busting my butt with the quail. I'm busting my butt with the chickens. I'm doing all the beehive stuff and all that kind of stuff. But that's how I contribute to my sustainability community here, my prepping community here, is I take care of that stuff. And then there's others that do other different types of avenues as well. So you're basically just catching glimpses of life. I'm just showing you what we're doing here. That's what this channel is about. It's about a journey. Half the day, when a video starts, I have a general idea what we're going to discuss, and it just goes from there. That's why it may seem like we start one way and it ties into something else, because I'm not reading off a script. I have no script. I'm just up here talking, telling you what I feel about things, how to do things if you're interested in it. And then I'll ask questions a lot of times, like, I'll see a comment. I'm like, what is that? I'd like to learn more about it. Then I don't get any advice back. Well, on them type of things, to definitely comment, say, well, here's a link to show you or something or whatever. And that kind of stuff will get through if I've asked for a link or whatever. So a lot of times when I see those video links that people post up, I check it out. But if there's one piece of content that I think can distract from the truth of the matter, I usually don't recommend every channel that comes across. Our moderators, the ones that have channels, I like a lot of their content, so I post it up. But when it comes to sharing links and stuff, I have filters that catch all that stuff. So it's got to get approved before it'll post. So if your post doesn't appear, understand it's not been released. And the reason that is because I don't typically check that folder maybe once a month. And honestly, if it's not within the first 10 or so comments, I usually don't read it because I just delete the whole bin. Because I'm trying to keep up with what I'm doing out here and also run a channel where hopefully you feel like I actually care about what you're doing and I'm actually trying to reach out and show you what I'm doing here. And, just be part of the community online, guys. That's what I hope you see. But, everyone sees what they want to. And that's the thing is when it comes to text, I hate texting on the phone because you don't know the intent that a message is coming. If you're in a bad mood, you're going to think that they're being like a smart, ass or something like that. And you're going to be like, oh, well, how dare that person? But if you're in a good mood, you might see it for humor that it was intended. So a lot of times your personal perception changes on that too. So that's why I feel it's important to start doing FaceTime on these videos and stuff and make it more personable, hopefully. And I know when I first started, I never showed my face in it. You might see me in a bee veil, or you might see just what I'm working on, but I didn't actually sit down to talk to everybody much. So I'm trying to go that way with the videos a little bit more to let you, get to know who I am, how I believe on stuff, and hopefully there's some kind of connection there where you understand what I'm showing you is because I actually care about the world. I actually care about the people in the world. I don't care about the political corruption that's there. I'm aware of it, and probably to a further degree than most people that are just sitting around complaining about it with conspiracy theories that have nothing to do with the truth of what's going on. So those types of videos, y'all know the ones I've been talking about, those are going to be in Preppers Corners. And you will see announcements in our channel announcements about if we release something over into Rumble. And if you're interested in a little more in-depth videos on that type of stuff, and again, that's going through some changes as well over on that channel, where it's going to be more of a sit down and it's going to be straight up information. There's not going to be a lot of crosstalk in the future on that channel. It's going to be get the information that's important to the people, tell it the way it's supposed to be. If they receive it, they receive it. If they don't, they don't. It has nothing to do with me at that point. So that's what that other channel is going to be on Rumble. For those that are interested in that, it's going to the name of that channel is Voice in the Wind. It is all one word, Voice in the Wind, and you can bring that up in there, or just look over at our channels announcements, and you're going to be, or a community tab, I think is what it's called. Look at the community tab, and it's going to have, you'll see where there's some links that have been posted up for Rumble, and you can join over there. It doesn't cost anything to join. You don't have to pay any money to watch the videos. All that's set up where if you want to be a subscriber over there, it's free. And the benefit to subscribing is you might not like all the content, but occasionally there's something that hits it that you really like to hear about. Well, subscribe, and you can look. I put in a description what the video is about. If you don't like the description, don't watch the videos. My recommendation. What I don't like is people that watch the video knowing they're not going to like it and then complain about something that's like way off base. So there was some interesting comments. I started to leave them up just. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people in the community are going to see that, this is an invasion of I don't know what the best way to say this is, guys, but people that are like way out there, spaced out type scenarios and stuff. So, and I know I can sound that way at times, guys, but understand the spiritual battle that's waging a war around us. That stuff's real. And it's not something that can't reach over into our realm. You have the spirit realm, you have a corporeal realm, or the realm of flesh, which is where we're at. And this realm here is full of sin. And that other realm is not just full of sin, but it's full of complete hatred and contempt toward mankind. And out amongst all that is the one who created all things, which is just a source of pure love toward creation, guys. And that's the Savior that I want to get to know. I don't do the theology. Hey man, listen, I went to Oklahoma Baptist University and graduated. I have a lot of information on Old Testament studies as far as information we've gleaned from that and how it is true by what the Bible says and stuff like that. I'm not just some dude just talking garbage. I went to I took the Oklahoma Baptist University courses from a professor in the local area because I lived in Indiana, but I'm done with all that stuff. And most of the way that the church portrays what's happening, they're sugaring it down and watering it down because it almost seems so fantastic. It's almost too fantastic. So people don't believe that God is all powerful anymore. They believe that he's only as powerful as, you know, as what you can imagine. Like we can imagine better. We're not even capable of imagining half as good. So, but that's just the way I think on stuff. So understand when you start posting a lot of religious stuff, if that's what brought you to the Lord, that's awesome. But I am not religious at all. I do not give into the traditions of man. I do not give into the interpretation of man's, what God has put down in writing for us to read as an individual and to come to agree on as a community. But rather than do that, people turn that into fighting amongst one each other. That's not going to be allowed at all. And there is going to be a biblical message tab on here too. If I have to make it so that I guess you can unmonetize certain videos when I've been reading. Understand I'm just new to all this stuff, guys. But you can unmonetize certain things so they don't get like nailed or whatever, but removed and all that kind of stuff. So I can post that type of stuff in there, but I just got to make sure that it is set up in the right categories and stuff as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with that. And those will still continue, but when they go into depth and it's showing what's happening in the world and maybe it's saying certain names that you can't say on this thing, those are going to be over on Rumble, guys. So I'm going to get off here. Everyone have a wonderful day. I hope that explains the structure of the channel, and I hope you enjoyed a little chat, guys.